Let's start with the news today. Automakers, including the big three in Detroit, they've been warning for years, that tariffs could hurt their business and hike prices. Give me a reaction to this news. What do you think they're thinking this evening?
So UAW is celebrating for a good reason. This is going to bring jobs back into Michigan. But what we've seen is Trump's approach to tariffs are really just throwing things against the wall. So it has to be thoughtful. And it's one thing to bring jobs back into a state like Michigan, but he's also fired the head of the National Labor Relations Board. He's also gutting Social Security. So this is going to have to be a wait and see approach. There's some cautious optimism, but we have to do it smart. Smart trade policy is really what we need.
Let's switch in gears and talk about the signal leak for a moment. I know the president and his team, as you're very aware, have denied any responsibility for it in the sense that it's not about classified information. No attack plans or war plans were shared. I just want to get your thoughts about all of this as it unfolds. When you see this level of incompetence from the inner core of the national security apparatus of this country, what do you think?
I mean, first of all, it's stunning. But if they are this careless with national security details, think about your Social Security. Think about your health care, your taxes. How many signal threads are out there right now with your sensitive information? It's just astonishing, and it should terrify people.
Speaking of that, I mean, I know you and I have always talked about like the pulse of the people, and certainly the different people and constituents that folks represent. What do you think your constituents would think about this story? Does this matter? Are they more preoccupied with something else, or is this one of those stories that would really raise questions in their minds about this competence of this administration?
Yeah, I mean, across the board, it is shocking.
Right.
Foreign affairs really doesn't resonate on the minds of most people, but it is indicative of how this administration treats sensitive information. And when people are worried about who has access to Treasury, the fact that Elon Musk has almost complete access to government and systems, is firing people at will, and it's tax time. People are filing their taxes, and I think they see something like this, and they're like, is my data going to get out there? That could ruin people's lives.
Yeah, and of course, you have to wonder what on that other side of the ledger is like the Elon Musks and how they're communicating with the sensitive information. Let's talk about your new book and the impetus behind it, and why you felt this was the time to write in the central message behind it.
That's right. So Hate Won't Win. It's out this week. I'm so proud of this book. I talked to thousands of people all across the country who have said a version of, I want to get involved. I'm so overwhelmed. I have no idea where to start. So this book is about my very unlikely journey into politics. Donald Trump has done a lot of horrible things, but I'll give him credit. I Googled how to run for office after he first got elected. And then it's a step-by-step guide for anyone to find their motivation, to learn how to interact with elected officials, so that we can all make a difference, because it's going to take all of us.
You write in the book, and I quote, you want to believe in the American dream, in which decency and accountability mattered, where everyone felt seen and heard. Do you feel with this administration we are moving away from that? More and more people, whether it is about Social Security or Medicaid or about trans rights, they're feeling they are not being seen, they are not being heard as this administration concentrates more power, becomes more authoritarian.
I do. And, this book came out, and right away people looked at the title and they said, it feels like hate did win, though. And it feels like hate is having a moment. Maybe we've taken a step back, but this is about the long haul. This is about recognizing that each and every single one of us have power in our own communities to push back, and we've seen that be successful. Think about the federal funding freeze on programs like Head Start and how quickly the administration rescinded that order when people raised their voices and they said, I showed up this morning and the doors were closed and people were fired and they couldn't go to work. We are all a lot more powerful than Donald Trump wants us to be. They want us to feel exhausted, and we can't let them.
Let me ask you about one of the themes of the book, obviously, is about fighting and fighting for what you believe in. There is this criticism now against the Democratic Party that some, or certainly the leaders of the Democratic Party, are not fighting enough. Do you think the Democratic Party, to which you belong, should be doing more fighting?
Yes, we have to show people that there is a future, and there's a future worth fighting for. This is no longer the Republican Party. I represented Mitt Romney's hometown.
Right.
that party doesn't exist anymore. This is a MAGA party. This is Donald Trump and Elon Musk systematically tearing down the government and all of our institutions. And we have to fight for a future that recognizes that maybe the status quo wasn't working for people, but that doesn't mean we burn it all down. We build it back up in a way that supports all of us.
All right. Mallory McMorrow, thank you so much. Congratulations on the book.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Take care. Safe travels.